Coach. After Coach, we'll have Bryce Kurtz, Cam Johnson, Brendan Sullivan, and Xander Mueller coming in. If you have a question after Coach's statement, go ahead and raise your hand. Get my attention. Coach.
Tell you what, no such thing as a bad win. Really proud of the way that our guys found a way to finish, especially on that last drive. Our O-line, Trey Tyus, Brendan Sullivan just executing in a 4-minute drill. Those are just absolutely critical scenarios that you can only grow through when you're in them. And really excited to see the way that our offense closed out a football game. Plenty of opportunities for us moving forward to evaluate, the way that we played in 4 quarters, specifically in the second half. Defensively, when we have a team on their heels, a team on the ropes, we need to find ways to close out games. Great defenses do that. Great football teams do that. But at the end of the day, for our team to just stay the course, continue to have poise, and find ways to come out 1-0 this week with a victory, 3-3 at the halfway point of the regular season, going into a bye week. I told the guys that the second you start taking winning for granted, you have bigger issues. You celebrate wins. There's so much hard work that goes into this around the year. We're going to hold our heads high. Credit to Howard, a great second half, well coached, resilient group that continued to battle. And it's a neat opportunity as a football team when you can learn and grow through some things that you need to continue to improve on while still coming away with a victory.
Coach, when you took this job with 2 months to the season, was 3-3 something you saw as a possibility for this team by the bye week?
You know what? We just committed as a program to take it one day at a time. And I will tell you, there was full faith that this group could do special things and write a really special story moving forward. But the only way that we've known how to operate is just one day at a time. And we were 1-0 today, so we're excited about that.
Coach, 4th and 3 from the opponent's 25. Can you talk about the decision to go for it rather than kick the field goal and go 3 possessions?
Great question. That we really felt like the wind was going to be a factor today. Myself, Coach Jenick, our staff talked about it, throughout the game, before the game, and then throughout the game. And it was really an area in the field where we didn't feel good about, a pooch punt scenario. And, didn't feel great, with the wind conditions about kicking a field goal. Felt very confident that going forward on 4th was the right move, but the weather and the wind certainly factored in that decision.
Coach, you talked Monday about getting into rushing tech again. Can you just talk about the role Cam and Brendan and Trey play in rushing?
Yeah, those guys just continue to battle, and the balance that's provided when those guys are in rhythm, and really proud of the offensive line and tight end group and the blocking on the perimeter by our wide receivers. Again, just that last drive. That's winning football. When you possess the football at the end of the game and have an opportunity to close out a game on the ground when your opponent knows you're going to run the football and you still find ways to effectively do it. I mean, that's what a great confidence boost, and what a great way to continue to instill belief in our team that we can close out games.
Coach, you mentioned Brendan's leadership this week in the presser. After the touchdowns he threw, he went over to the offensive line, went over to the wide receivers, and was talking to them, basically being like, keep going, keep going. What did you see today from his leadership?
I think you just see a young man that is, a competitor and someone that loves his teammates and understands that, the great thing about this game that we play or coach or are involved with, those that are around football, it's the ultimate team game. And I think Brendan Sullivan understands that. He understands that it requires every single guy in that locker room, on that sideline, on that offensive bench to be successful. And he understands that his energy can be a catalyst to other people's success.
Coach, Howard sacked Brendan Sullivan 4 times today. They had 4 sacks on the season coming in. What do you think caused that jump? Was that something you were seeing from your offensive line and from Brendan, or do you credit their defensive line for that increase?
You got to go back and look at the film. There's a lot of factors that can play into it. Certainly you want to start off by giving Howard credit. Sometimes it can be protection issues. Sometimes it can just be holding on to the ball for too lengthy of a time. But that's something between, Coach Bajaki and Coach Anderson, our line, we'll continue to evaluate and improve upon. But at the end of the day, was really impressed with Sully's decision-making and his ability to protect the football today.
Without looking at the film, does it concern you at all that they were able to outgain you guys in total yards today?
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. You go back and you always evaluate stats. The biggest mistakes I've made as a coach, especially on the defense side of the ball, is get tied up into yardage. And not get tied up into, at the end of the day, you win and lose games not on the yardage battle, but by points. I think, specifically defensively, going back and evaluating, some play calls where I can improve, some fundamentals and tackling issues that we can improve. In the second half, we need to play our brand of football and play like we played in the first half. So we're going to continue to go back and evaluate, but the second we get so tied up on yards, I'm always going to look at, how do we find ways to win football games? And, if teams are moving the football, especially in tempo scenarios, we need to bow up, force teams to kick field goals, and find ways to get off the field on 3rd and 4th down.
Headed into the bye week, a chance for some self-scouting and, of course, a little bit of rest. What's going to be the primary focus of the team during this bye week?
Monday we'll come back and we'll put this one to bed and learn from it. And then we'll start our plan on Nebraska. Early in the week, we're going to put some focus on, allowing our older guys to get into the game plan, but rest and recover and get their bodies back, really pour into some of the younger guys in our roster on development. We've talked about it, those young guys, at some point during the season, there's a chance that their number's called. They need to stay ready. And then as we get into the later portions of the week, we'll continue to build off the game plan for Nebraska, but as a staff, we'll put Howard to bed tomorrow morning and get right into Nebraska prep, and then move into some developmental things early in the week before we get back to the game plan.
Well, with AJ silent, how do you kind of assess Trey and Bryce's performance that are turning in today?
To be honest with you, it's something I'll probably have to go back and take a look at. What I will say is AJ's an absolute weapon. Look forward to having him back. But those other guys continue to show a lot of really good things that get us excited. And at the end of the day, you start kicking away from AJ, you want to make sure that you feel like you got other people back there that can continue to flip the field.
Coach, Ben Bryant was a game-time decision, ended up being out. How was that decision made, and do you expect him and AJ to be available for Nebraska in a couple weeks?
We do expect both those guys to be available. Just made the decision that we felt like Brendan was going to be our best option considering all the information that we had to help us win a football game.
Yeah, Coach, Howard, running back Eden Jones, obviously had a really good game with 177 yards. What's something you feel you have to do in the sort of second half of the season to kind of prevent those opponents, running backs, from kind of having those big games?
Yeah, a lot of it comes back to continuing to root into fundamentals, block destruction, tackling, playing with good leverage. And, I'll always go back and self-evaluate where I can do a better job putting us in some more advantageous calls to limit run game.
Maybe we've missed this in earlier weeks, but players, as they walk in to the locker room after games, they hit a sign that says "Trust Yourself." Can you tell us about how long you guys have had that and maybe the ideology behind that as well?
Yeah, no, I think it just comes back to, a certain level of confidence and all the preparation that goes into, game week and off season. At the end of the day, we need to, trust our teammates, have a sense of belief in what we're doing. But that all starts with just a confidence from within, and something that we've been talking about a lot lately is rooting into your purpose. Taking time for yourself to root into your purpose, because we can talk about motivational speeches, but at the end of the day, if you want sustainable energy, sustainable, some people would call it juice, but just that energy and confidence, it's going to be a bunch of young men that are rooted in their purpose. And I think it all comes back to that. Guys that are rooted in their purpose, trust themselves, and collectively go battle their tails off for one another.
Coach, your third touchdown put the team up 22-7. Chose to kick the point after to go up 16 rather than go for 2 to maybe go up 17. Difference between a 2-score and a 3-score lead. How do you make those decisions, and what went into that decision today?
Yeah, there's a bunch of information out there in terms of analytics and a lot of considerations. The thing I'll tell you is, I don't believe in chasing points early in the game. You just never know how things are going to play out, and when points are available, we're going to take them where we can.
What'd you make of the home crowd here at Ryan Field on Alumni Weekend?
Yeah, no, it was great. Again, very, very impressed with our student section. I want to continue to just express our gratitude for that group. They continue to show up with great energy. It's felt throughout our team, and greatly appreciated from the entire program.
Thanks, Coach.
We'll go ahead and go right into questions. On your left, Brendan Sullivan. On your right, Cam Johnson. If you have a question for one or the other, make sure you direct your question to that player and ask the question. Matt.
For both of you, connected on it was the third touchdown of the game was you rolling to your left, Cam kind of going scramble drill a little bit, breaking free. How did you make that connection during the play, and how did you have the trust in each other to make it?
Yeah, we've been playing with each other since he got here, so it's not nothing new. Something we kind of expected. I mean, we have that chemistry, and something we trust each other with. So.
Yeah, I think just to echo what Brendan said. We've been working since we got here. I think he did a really good job of being proactive, as I've said a couple of times, of just making sure I got in the rotation. He worked with me and getting that chemistry down. And so I trust him. And so as soon as I saw him give me the sort of go signal, I knew that he was going to make the play. So, yeah.
Brendan, Ben's status was kind of up in the air all week. When did you kind of find out that you were going to start? Was your prep any different for today's game versus earlier in the season?
Yeah, like they said on the line, it was a game time decision. And no, I'm gonna prepare every week like I'm the starter. And it's the job of a backup is to prepare every week like you're a starter, and then nothing changed there. So Ben did a really good job of being a really good teammate on the sideline. He was the #1 supporter, so really big credit to him.
Cam, because of injuries, you've had to be catching passes from a multitude of different quarterbacks so far this season. How do you establish the chemistry with a bunch of different types of guys in the offseason and during practice?
I think it just starts with a two-way street, honestly. Both of us, the quarterback and the receiver, sort of being proactive, as I said, and making sure we're getting extra reps. Maybe if Sully and I don't get something during the week, he pulled me aside and said, can we get this after practice? And in the offseason, we threw two or three times a week. And so you're getting reps from all the quarterbacks. And I think it's paying off, and it's going to continue to pay off throughout the year.
Brendan, before the game, it looked like you went over to a trainer maybe. I don't know if you were complaining about your right arm, your right shoulder. Was that a factor at all today, or is there anything there?
No, nothing there. Just a little sore from the week, throwing a little more. But, yeah, just nothing. Just getting a little ready to go.
Brendan, you ended up taking 4 sacks today. Howard had 4 sacks all season. What did you feel was the cause of those?
Yeah, I'm don't remember all of them, so I'm going to have to get back to the film and watch that. But a few of them definitely were on me, holding on to the ball too much and not getting to my check down. So definitely got to take a look in the mirror after this game, but,
Anything else? Awesome. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Mueller, on your right, Bryce Kirk. We'll go right into questions. If you have a question for one or the other, make sure you direct it to them. Matt.
Standard defense played phenomenally in the first half. Second half, Howard started to get it going. What changed between those two?
Yeah, I think putting 4 quarters together is a huge emphasis. We need to keep pounding on. We haven't really done it yet so far. Success a little bit earlier. Just gotta stick with it. A lot of big plays that were just one little miscommunication, one little missed tackle. So I think being all on the same page and finishing and not allowing those big plays is a big part of their success.
Xander, you had 2 sacks, 3 tackles for loss. What does it take to be that disruptive in one game from an individual standpoint? Obviously, as a team, you guys play pretty well outside of those big plays, too.
Yeah, I think our D-line was getting after it, so I think that was a big part of that, helping linebackers be free off blocks and be able to make plays.
Bryce, what was it like getting Brendan in there at QB today? What did you see as one of his receivers?
Yeah, no, I like Brendan a lot. I got a couple games with him last year, so I know what he can do. I like Brendan a lot. The fact that he can extend plays with his legs, that opens up opportunities for me and for the rest of the offense as well.
Xander, you didn't get the tackle, but you did get credit for the safety, being able to pressure Howard's quarterback. Is that the first safety of your career, or have you ever had something like that before, and what was it like to make that play?
Yeah, I think that was the first safety of my career. We actually talked before the drive. We wanted to get points on defense, either touchdown or safety, so we capitalized on that.
For both or either of you guys, can you guys just talk about the value of the upcoming bye week and how that can be used to both learn and study and also just refresh your bodies and minds for?
Yeah, I think we had a lot of guys that need the week, so it'll be super helpful to get guys back and get guys healthy. We definitely have a lot to learn from. This game was definitely nowhere near where we can play, where we've played before. So it'll be huge to get back in the film room and get back in the bye week prep.
Yeah, I mean, I would say the same thing. Honestly, we need that break to get guys' legs back underneath them, maybe figure out some injuries, and even get some guys back that have been out this season. I know we got a couple guys coming back after the bye week, so that's exciting. So yeah.
Yeah, Xander, obviously the defense kind of struggled to stop the run. Howard, running back, Eden James had 177 rushing yards. What does the defense need to do in future games in the second half of the season to stop the run?
Yeah, I think a big part of that was big plays, and I think guys keeping their leverage and doing their job on every play. Coach Braun's built a system to get the ball funneled. If everyone plays with their leverage, I think a couple plays, all three levels of defense were kind of out of their gaps on a couple of times. We got to keep our leverage to stop those big plays.
Bryce, another touchdown today. You're having the best season of your career. What have you felt so far this season that's been different to prior seasons? What's clicking?
Really just the confidence, I would say, especially just on the offensive side and the defensive side. I mean, like, we feed off them, they feed off us. But I would say, like, offensively, like, we're just very confident out there. Like, and I think that comes from, practice during the week. We're really particular on, like, the plays we run, and we want to make sure that we're running those right 4 or 5 times throughout the week just so we can come and execute it once on game day. So really just the confidence that the offense is showing.
We're a little bit off topic here, but any big Drake fans going to streaming that album this upcoming bye week?
Oh, yeah, no, I mean, I was definitely streaming it when it came out on Friday, and I mean, I've been some of it on repeat ever since. So I guess I got a couple more songs I got to listen to, but yeah, definitely.
So far?
I would say the one with Yeet. I don't even know the name of it right now, but I think it's, I can't even say it. yeah, there we go.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.